All right, guys, I'm gonna show you how to do the perfect back squat, okay? So from here, in terms of the height position, we wanna make sure that this position is a little bit lower. So this is actually a little bit too high for me. So what I would do is I would unrack it, over here, spin it up, make it one lower to here, okay? So now when I look at it, this is perfect, okay? It's basically just like the middle of my deltoid. That way I don't have to do like a step up. I can just literally just walk forward and it's gonna be in a really good position, okay? The biggest mistake I see is when people do this, they're here, right? And now they have to go up high and they press and they go down. What we really want is we wanna be able to just walk into it and just lower it down. If you can do that, you're in a really, really safe position to do so. The safety bar is super important, right? I don't know why people wouldn't want to use it unless they had a bumper plate where they can just let go. But if you're in a cage, right, and there's already a safety bar, set it to the right height. So this is gonna be a really good position for me because as I lower down, right, it's actually gonna be a bit too low. Okay, it's not actually perfect. So what I would do, I'll set this up and I'd probably set it up so that it's just one notch lower than my full depth. So from here, I go down. So this is my lowest position. I would set it up so that's like right here. So probably a little bit, like one notch higher. Okay, that way if it drops, I just let it go. Cool. So how do I do the most perfect squat? There's no such thing. Okay, but you can get pretty close to a good squat. And a good squat to me means that you just have a few cues. Okay, the first cue is hand position. Okay, number one thing I see is people hold way too far out. Okay, if you do this, if you're here, there's no tension, right? It feels really, really wobbly. What we really want to try to do, we need to keep this hand freaking close. So the closer it is, the more tension you have in your back. So from here, you're squeezing your shoulder blades, you're in a really tight position. I can basically jump with this. It's really, really tight. Like it's not gonna move, right? Whereas if it's out here, all of a sudden it's like moving. You don't want that, okay? Especially if you have weight on there, okay? That's the first step. So number one, your shoulder blades together, you're in a good position. So how far do you stand? Honestly, this is way too close. This is way too far. Everything in between, like shoulder width, is perfect. Okay, so if I just spin around for a quick sec, okay, and go underneath. My foot here, we don't want it spun in, we don't want it turned out all the way. We want to find just basically pointing straight, but turned out just a tiny bit. Okay, so when you're here, you're gonna do one thing. That's all you're gonna do, focus on. You're gonna do a big breath in. Okay, so from here, breathe in. Big breath in into your abdomen. You should feel all this expand, okay? So now you're super stable, okay? You got stability in the upper limb, right? This is keeping everything tucked and down and really, really nicely supported. Now, you're gonna do a really big breath into your tummy. Hold it. Okay? That is perfect squat. And if you can do this, it's good enough. Okay? So you got the setup position, right? You don't need to go on your toes. You just walk straight in. You're keeping the bar close to you, right? Your foot, it's not all the way out. It's not all the way in. Just shoulder width with your foot turned out just a little bit, and that's good enough. Then when you go down, focus on a really big breath in. Creates a lot of pressure in your abdomen, creates a lot of stability, right? Protect your spine, all that stuff, and go up and down, okay? Super easy, you don't have to make it super complicated, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. The bar path doesn't have to be all the way up and down. If you can do this, it's good enough. It's more than enough.